"Good morning, everybody," shouted Peppa. It was another school day with their teacher, Madame Gazelle. Peppa loved school. They were waiting for their friends, Zoe and Pedro, who they went to school with. When they arrived, Mummy Pig said goodbye and they started their short walk to school. On the other side of town, at the Ponyville schoolhouse, the teacher, Cheerily, was preparing her classroom for the day's lessons. But today was going to be very different from a usual day. Peppa and her friends arrived at the school, but it was closed. Miss Rabbit then appeared and told the children that their teacher, Madame Gazelle, wasn't feeling very well, and today they were going to be taught at the Ponyville schoolhouse by Cheerily. Miss Rabbit then gave all the children an apple to take with them. She heard that Cheerily liked apples. James arrived to take Peppa, her friends and their apples on the journey across town. Arrived, they said hello to Cheerily and then went to sit down. They all gave Cheerily an apple, except George, who said that he was sorry, but he'd lost his apple. Actually, George ate it as they were getting off the train. He'd felt hungry. Cheerily began her lesson. After a while, it was time for a break, and they went straight to the slide and swing, although they were all a little bit too big for the swing, except George. Cheerily had a lovely meal of apples. Break over, and they sat down again for more lessons. Then school had finished. They all thanked Cheerily for teaching them, and George confessed that he hadn't lost his apple. He'd actually felt quite hungry and eaten it. "Don't worry," said Cheerily, "I had 3 apples, and I feel quite full." James left for the trip across town and dropped them off at the playground by Peppa's house. They'd all had a great day, but wanted a quick play before returning to their homes.
Today, Peppa and George are going on a picnic. "Hold on guys," said Thomas. "I just need to refill my water tank. Won't be long." I think George is more interested in that boat than he is the picnic. Oh no, he's drifting into the middle of the lake. And the paddles are still on the land. "Help! I'm stuck!" cried George. "Don't worry," said Thomas. "I know who can help us." Ah, the minions. They're always full of bright ideas.
Aha.
A log. Not a bad idea.
Nope. Uh-oh. Run! Run! Phew. Aha.
Ah, rope. You can pull the boat in.
Woo.
Oh, or maybe not.
Aha.
Yes, another boat. Good. Great idea. Oh no,
What?
it's sinking.
Uh-oh. Oh no. Ah, run! Run!
Only one idea left. Let's hope it works. Ah, a pirate minion. Perfect. Oh, well done. Oh, George, you are naughty, but at least you're safe now. Oh, I think the minions wanted to lift too.
Wait! Wait! Slow down!
Peppa Pig was travelling aboard the Hello Kitty train to see if Princess Sophia would like to come out to play with her at the park. She carefully got out of the train and knocked on the castle doors. Queen Miranda opened the big doors and greeted her warmly. "Hello, Peppa. Are you calling for Sophia today?" she asked. "Yes," said Peppa. "It has stopped raining and I was wondering if she would like to play." Princess Sophia came to the door and was very happy to see her friend. "You can go out for a short time," said Queen Miranda, "but be very careful not to get your dress dirty. It has been raining recently and there may be some muddy puddles around." Princess Sophia nodded her head and the two girls eagerly climbed into the train. "Let's have some fun," shouted Princess Sophia. When they arrived at the park, the two girls first made their way to the roundabout. "Careful, Sophia," said Peppa as they spun round and round. "Don't fall in the puddle." And just then she fell splat into the mud. "Oh dear," said Peppa. "Never mind, I'm used to getting muddy." After the roundabout, the girls headed for the swings. "This is fun," said Princess Sophia. "Watch out for the puddles," said Peppa before falling once again into the mud. "Let's go on the zip wire," smiled Princess Sophia. "Okay," agreed Peppa, and she was the first to test it out. "Watch out for the mud," cried Peppa. "We'd better go back now," said Peppa. "Can we have one last go on the slide?" asked Princess Sophia. "No," said Peppa, "there's too much mud at the bottom." "I'll be fine," cried Princess Sophia. "I don't have a speck of mud on me, while you are covered. You should copy what I do." And she quickly clambered up the slide. Oh dear, her dress was covered. "Oh no," cried Princess Sophia. "I'm going to be in so much trouble now. Look at my poor dress." Just then, Peppa spotted a water tower. "We could always wash the mud off," she suggested. "It's such a hot day today, I'm sure it'll dry out very quickly." "Great idea," smiled Princess Sophia, and the two girls stood underneath the water. They They were soon all nice and clean, and they did indeed dry out very quickly, and so could return to the castle without getting into any trouble at all.
There be treasure!
Peppa and George were very excited. They were going to have a ride on Grandpa Pig's boat. Grandpa Pig arrived and they climbed aboard. "Don't forget your life jackets," said Grandpa Pig. So Peppa and George quickly put them on. "Off we go!" shouted Grandpa Pig, and they set sail. It was a beautiful day, and the boat was soon chugging along. "Grandpa," said George, "is this a pirate boat? Because you have a pirate flag at the back." "Oh no," chuckled Grandpa Pig. "Pirate boats don't exist anymore, only in fairy tales." "So, Grandpa," said Peppa, "what's that ship coming towards us?" "Oh dear," said Grandpa Pig, "I do believe that's Captain Hook on board. There could be trouble ahead." "What a lovely boat," shouted Captain Hook. "Give it to me, I want it for myself, and if you don't hand it over, I'm going to fire my cannon at you." "Oh dear," repeated Grandpa Pig. "How are we going to get out of this mess?" Suddenly, a fairy appeared on the boat. "It's Tinker Bell," shouted George. "I see you're in a spot of bother," she said. "I know just the person who can help." And with that, she disappeared. In a blink of an eye, Jake appeared. "Don't worry, I'll sort him out," said Jake, and he jumped aboard the pirate ship. "That's enough bad behaviour for today," he shouted at Captain Hook. "I'm going to teach you a lesson." "Oh no, you won't," said Captain Hook. But Jake was already behind him and pushed him into the water. "We won't see him for a while," smiled Jake to Peppa, George and Grandpa Pig. "Oh, thank you so much for saving us," cried Peppa. "No problem," said Jake and gave them a wave goodbye. Just then, Tinker Bell reappeared. "Peppa, how would you like to fly?" she asked. "Oh, yes, please," said Peppa. "Can I take off my life jacket? It's a bit heavy." "Of course," smiled Tinker Bell. "It's perfectly safe." And she sprinkled some fairy dust over Peppa. Soon, Peppa was whirling and twirling in the sky. "Whee! This is so much fun!" she cried. "Peppa," said Grandpa Pig, "I think it's time for us to go home now. We've had a very eventful day." "Okay," sighed Peppa. And she put on her life jacket again. "Oh," said Peppa as she sat up in bed. "Was that a dream I had? Or did I really fly and see Captain Hook and Tinker Bell?" She stared out of her window. Perhaps I'll never know. Princess Sophia, Amber and James were busy in the kitchen. They'd invited Queen Elsa and Princess Anna for afternoon tea, so were making a delicious cake. Amber stirred the mixture. This was going to be the best cake ever. The mixture was then put in a tin and Princess Sophia placed it in the oven. While the cake was cooking, the three of them went out to play. Unfortunately, they were too busy playing and forgot about the cake. Smoke started coming out of the oven. When Princess Sophia and Amber returned, the cake was ruined. The cake was so burnt, it was as black as coal. "Oh no," cried Amber, "what are we going to do? Queen Elsa and Princess Anna are coming soon." "I know," said Princess Sophia. "I'll phone Peppa Pig and ask if she could get a cake for us." Peppa agreed, and Percy gave her a lift to Hello Kitty's cafe. she purchased a cake and rushed to Princess Sophia's castle. "Oh, thank goodness you're here, Peppa," said Princess Sophia. "What did you buy?" she asked. "I bought a mud cake," said Peppa. "A what?" Amber cried. "A mud cake? That sounds horrible. Queen Elsa won't want to eat mud," she thought. But Queen Elsa and Princess Anna were arriving. They got out of the car and greeted their hosts. "Hello, you three," Queen Elsa said. "What's that?" she asked Peppa. "It's a chocolate mud cake," she said. Princess Sophia and Amber heaved a sigh of relief. "Oh, I thought it was actually made of mud." "How silly of me," said Amber. Everyone laughed, and Peppa gave everyone a slice. The whole cake was eaten quickly. "Thank you. That was the best cake I've ever eaten," said Queen Elsa. Everyone else agreed. Pig and her friends were having a lovely time at the local park. Zoe Zebra and Rebecca Rabbit were enjoying the slide. It was their favourite. George was watching his boat sail around the duck pond. What fun this is, he thought to himself. Danny was on the zip wire. Whee! This is great, he shouted. The roundabout was Peppa and Deli's favourite. They just loved going round and round and round again. Meanwhile, on the other side of the town, Princess Sophia I was travelling aboard Thomas. He was taking her to join her friends at the park. I can't wait to see them, she cried excitedly. Peppa, George and Danny had climbed to the top of the treehouse to see if they could see Sophia arrive, while Zoe and Ellie were having a lovely time on the seesaw. Suddenly, they heard Thomas's whistle. "They're coming," said Peppa excitedly. Sophia arrived and climbed off Thomas. "Hello," she smiled at her friends. "It's so good to see you. Thanks for the ride, Thomas." "No problem," said Thomas, and he steamed off. "Let's go on the roundabout first," said Danny. "Great idea," said Sophia, and off they went. "What about the slide next?" suggested Peppa. "Definitely," agreed Sophia. And Susie joined them. "Come and see my boat," cried George. "OK," smiled Sophia. "It's a very nice boat," she told George, and George smiled. Just then, they heard a van approaching. "It's Kitty with her new snack van," cried Susie. Kitty parked her van and opened the side, displaying all her delicious treats. Everyone gathered round, and Peppa was the first to choose something. "Please, could I have an ice cream?" she asked politely. "Of course," smiled Kitty and handed her one. George was next, and he fancied some popcorn. Sophia also had an ice cream, and so did Candy. With their delicious treats, the friends all sat down to enjoy them. Kitty then said goodbye to everyone and closed the van. But when she tried to start the engine, it made a terrible noise. "What's that noise?" inquired Peppa, Sophie and Danny. "It's Kitty's van. It won't start," cried Sophia. "Don't worry, Kitty," said Danny. "I can call my grandpa. He's a mechanic. I'm sure he'll be able to fix the problem." "Oh, thank you," said Kitty. "That's very kind." Danny called his grandpa, and very soon they could hear his truck motoring towards them. Grandpa Dog got out and went over to Danny. "Now, what appears to be the problem?" he asked. Kitty told him, and Grandpa Dog proceeded to the van. He had a look at the engine and then said, "Oh yes, I can fix that." It wasn't long before Grandpa Dog announced to Kitty that the engine was working again. "Oh, thank you," said a relieved Kitty. "How much do I owe you?" she asked. "Well," smiled Grandpa Dog, "I would love one of your delicious ice creams." "Of course," she replied, and went to make him one. "Lovely," he smiled, and was soon back in his truck returning to his garage. Kitty then followed in her van. Just then, Sophia heard Thomas's whistle. "It's time for me to go home now," she said to Peppa, Danny and George. "I've had a wonderful time. Let's meet up again soon." And she climbed aboard Thomas, and off she steamed back to her palace. It was a beautiful day, so Thomas agreed to give Peppy pom-poms, Bun Bun sticky icing, Peppa and Pedro a lift to the park. Bun Bun decided to take her pet sheep with her. As soon as they got there, Bun Bun put her sheep down to let it run around. Then Peppy and Bun Bun went and played on the swings. And Peppa and Pedro played on the slide. They then swapped over. And finally, they had to go on the seesaw. They were about to go home when Peppa noticed something. "Where's your pet sheep gone, Bun Bun?" she asked. "Oh no," Bun Bun replied. "I can't see her. Please could you help me find her?" Everyone agreed, so they started looking. They looked under the table, by the slide, and by the swings. "Found her!" cried Peppy. She was stuck at the top of the tree. Peppa and Pedro tried to reach her, but she was just too far away. "I know," said Thomas. "I'll fetch Goofy. He has a helicopter." And off he went. It wasn't long before Goofy arrived. He hovered close to the tree and the sheep hopped aboard. Goofy then landed the helicopter and gave Bun Bun back her sheep. "Thank you, Goofy," she said. "No problem," he replied. Thomas then arrived to take everyone home. It had been an eventful day.
Zoe Zebra called at Peppa Pig's house to see if she wanted to go to the park. "Yes, please," said Peppa. "Can George come as well?" "Of course," said Zoe. The three of them got on board the waiting James and off they set. It was a really windy day and the tall trees were swaying. When they got to the park, James had to leave. The wind was really strong. It was a very good day for flying a kite. But a very bad day to play with a beach ball. On the swing, Emily went back easily but couldn't swing forwards much at all. George went to the treehouse. The ladder had been lost, so they always had to climb up the slide. "Ooh, there goes someone's balloons," said George. Rebecca went up the treehouse as well, and poor Susie got blown over on the ground. Peppa started flying her kite as well. Then a big tree in the playground started shaking and was pulled out of the ground by the wind. It crashed against the slide on the treehouse, trapping Rebecca and George at the top. There was no ladder and they couldn't get past the tree. Everyone came running. Luckily, no one was hurt. Then they heard a train coming. It was Hello Kitty. Peppa asked Kitty if she could help in any way. She thought, "I have a plan," and she then moved her train around the track. Kitty got out a rope and asked Peppa if she could tie it around the tree. She did with some help from Pedro. Kitty tied the other end to her train. With everyone standing well back, Kitty started the train. The tree moved easily and was pulled well away from the treehouse. George and Rebecca could now slide their way down to the ground. Kitty returned and they all thanked her very much for her help. Thanks for watching our story. Don't forget to like and subscribe and then watch another video by clicking on any of these clips. See you soon.